ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Great Gibraltar Draft with Hound Dogs. Now, before we get started, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. That's all I'll say. But today we have got Europa Point, who are in fact bottom of the league with only 6 points. So they've had an absolute shocker so far this season, and we are flying. We've got a game in hand. We're 7 points clear of Lincoln in second place. We're just on form. We are on so much form. There are transfers to make you aware of. So I will go into those right now. With that said, I think the only one we brought in, which is new, is Vijami Sinisalo from Newcastle. He's a Finnish goalkeeper that we've brought in, who's probably going to end up being our first choice goalkeeper. There are a few outgoings, though, that I also need to make you aware of. So Terence Douglas has left us for Dordrecht, as it was planned. We've also got the likes of Brian Oviedo leaving for Saprissa. We've got loads of left backs that can play there. He wanted to go back to his original club where he started his career. I wasn't going to say no to him, so that's why he's left. We got a little bit of money for him as well. Carlos Rodriguez left for Glasgow United. This is one that I tried to keep hold of him. I did offer him a new contract. He didn't want to stay, so he left to join Glassis on a pre-contract. We sold him because there's no point keeping him around otherwise. TJ DeBar is a similar thing. He was leaving at the end of the season anyway, but he was joining Barrow on a free contract. And yeah, so we sold him for 23,000 there, so a bit of money there as well. And then Hamza has officially now left us, joining Slaven Belupa in Croatia. So we've had a few ins and outs there, and then along with that, we have made some other transfers. So Torben Carlson is coming in and joining the club. He's a left winger, 17 years old. He'll be joining at the end of the season. So a player that I think looks pretty decent with a bit of pace about him. Brian Rees we know of. Stefan Badji will be leaving us at the end of the season. He, it was just a case. I tried to offer him a contract. He wasn't too fast about it. So he'll be leaving to join a Turkish side, Allianspor. Then we've got Flynn Duffy, a fullback, who will be joining at the end of the season as well, from Dundee United. A decent looking player, not too shabby. And then also Ethan Amundsen Day from Copenhagen. 6'2", centre half. Physicals look great. Some good tackling and technique. Marking and heading. Heading certainly can improve, so that'll be something we'll have to try and work on. Or we'll look to maybe move him out wide or in a centre defensive midfield position, which is probably where we will end up training him because he's got kind of a bit better stats for that position. But there you go. That is who we brought in, but we will take a quick look at how we've got to this stage and how we have stayed top of the league. After our tight 1-1 draw with Lincoln, we played Man 62 in the rematch in the Intermediate Cup. And, I mean, it was kind of crazy. We won 8-0, our biggest ever win. First one coming from Andre Wisdom, getting down the right-hand side, playing it across for Romero. And things doubled just before the end of the half with Bareback being played through. He got the ball across again, and Romero, similar position, just tapping it past the keeper. And the second half, we just ran riot. We managed to win the ball from a crossfield pass by them. Pereira de Sá got onto the end of that one. Romero playing the ball over the top for Bareback to score a lovely little volley. And almost instantly, straight from kickoff, we again, a minute later, got a number 4 for us. Pella knocking the ball down for Pereira de Sá. Found John Christoph Bareback, who smashed the ball into the back of the net for his second of the game. So Romero and Bareback were fighting for the hat-trick, that's for sure. But that wasn't going to stop them from playing the ball to one another, with Romero coming inside, finding Bareback, who did manage to get his hat-trick in the game. And that just shows the kind of camaraderie in the side. Thorgensen, though, came on, found Kingsley and Pereira de Sá. He then was able to whip the ball in to the back post for Bareback to get his 4th of the game. Absolutely smashing things. And then right near the end of the game, we got 2 in very quick succession. Cock into Kingsley, then Pereira de Sá's ball over the top, found John Christoph Bareback for another goal. Let's just say he had an absolute whale of a time in the game against Man 62. And then Thorgerson, with a corner, whipped the ball in, and it was Kingsley to wrap things up at 8-0. And we managed to continue that form against Lions, a 4-0 win as the away side. First 10 minutes in, a cross got deflected up, and Pella was able to win the header, getting it past Phillips in goal. who wasn't quite able to get his hands to it properly. Then, not long after that, we also got a second. Wisdom on the right-hand side, this time finding Romero in the box. The initial header was saved, but Pella was able to tap it home for number 2. And number 3, again, very, very quickly afterwards, within 5 minutes of that one, again, on the right-hand side, Andre Wisdom was able to get the ball across. Romero, again, with the header, but this time looked to play it back inside. Pereira de Sá missing the ball, but Bareback wasn't going to miss from there, and he smashed it in. And then finally, number 4 in the first half, just before half-time, we were able to wrap things up. Once more, Wisdom was crucial in this one, finding Romero at the back stick, and this time he got his goal for 4-0. A comfortable 3-0 against Lynx then followed. In the first half, we went 1-0 up with Pereira de Sá finding Romero down the left-hand side, who managed to poke it past the keeper at the near post, giving us a comfortable lead going into the second half. Graziano Pella scored from the penalty spot initially, and then the second one came once when Dede was able to find Wandenberg on his left foot on the playing at right back, was able to find Pella inside, who looked for Romero through a goal, who got his second of the game. Magpies were our biggest challenge so far, but we were still able to dispatch them with reasonable, comfortable abilities. Kingsley playing Romero, who had ample room on the left-hand side to smash it past the keeper. We had Graziano Pella miss a penalty before our second goal, though, so we could have made things a lot more comfortable for ourselves. But Jean-Christophe Bareback on the right-hand side found Romero. Raton in goal was in no man's land, and he just nodded it past him there. They did end up getting a goal. It was only consolation in the end, though, to make it 2-1, as Atenza scored a header from a corner. And finally, before our game against Europa Point, we did play Europa FC. It was late in the second half where we scored our 2 goals for this one. Romero, again, being the recipient from a cross from Ramirez to head home the ball. And then Ramirez got on the score sheet himself from the penalty spot. And there we have it. That is where we're at. So we've got Europa Point today, bottom of the league. We have got the 2 semi-finals as well coming up against Lincoln and St Joseph. And then, of course, we've got the last few games of the season, and hopefully a couple of finals as well. But with that said, we've got it all in our hands to do. We could be in the Champions League technically next season if we kind of continue our form. One thing we have had issues with is the suspensions. So obviously because of the kind of rulings with suspensions, you can be banned for 5 matches if you get a certain amount of yellow cards. Now, we've had plenty of players out there. Sergio Silva, Paul Koch, Marco Sala, Abdoulaye Keita and Kingsley Michael are all out with the suspension. So it's good that we've got a deep squad. And this is the lineup we will be going for. We've got 3 goalkeepers on the bench because I didn't want to bring up anyone from our under-23s just yet. But we've got Golstorff in goal. Ramirez playing right back today with Leon Pambu and Dede at the back. And Wandenberg playing at left back, his more natural position. Then we've got Badji in defensive midfield. Diarsuba and Marlos in centre midfield, just ahead of him with the trio up top who's just been running the show. Jean-Christophe Bareback, Romero and Pella up top in the false 9 position. We will put Pereira de Sá on the bench. We can do that. That's for sure. To be fair, he could probably pay because he is maybe we'll swap him out for Marlos and slot him in there as the box-to-box midfielder. I think that would work, and it reduces the number of goalkeepers on our bench. So let's jump into today. I think we've got plenty we can use for this game. I don't think we've got any real concerns with the competition in this match. I think Europa Point should be easy enough to kind of push to the side with the kind of ability the boys have got and the kind of form they're on as well. There is no reason whatsoever for us to take the loss today. That's for sure. As we do see in the first 18 minutes, Wundenberg finding Maximiliano Romero on the left-hand side. He cuts back on his right foot, but plays it back to Salifu. Then Romero once again plays it back to Badji. He's got loads of time on the edge of the box, who plays that beautiful ball through. Romero's not quite able to finish that pass, but it was one hell of a pass through. Romero is being wanted by a bunch of French clubs at the moment, so we are trying to fend them off. He hasn't really shown any desire to leave, so that's quite nice. But we will have to see how that goes. As Salifu was able to find Bareback running through on goal, but it's saved by Saidani as we look to pummel their goal with plenty of shots, plenty of efforts, and a corner to come. Salifu with this one. He will deliver it back post. Graziano Pella goes up, but it is cleared. Now Maximiliano Romero is able to get onto the end of that clearance. He looks to come back to Woudenberg on the edge of his own half, but we miss the end of that highlight really as things stand. They haven't had a shot. They haven't had any on target. We're looking very, very comfortable so far as it goes. With Salifu again having another corner attempt. He looks inside. It is headed clear. Keeper went to come for that one, but didn't make it as Salifu receives it back from Dede. Then Jean-Christophe Baerback looks to get to the byline. He does have to end up cutting it back though, and I'm not quite sure what's happened there as Heaps is able to latch on to the poor pass, and Christian Fuchs plays it back to Blissett, and then Fuchs receives it once again to launch it forward down this left-hand side. Pambu does very well, though, to win that header as Pereira de Sá finds Salifu, who takes it past one man. He looks out wide to Woudenberg, who's got plenty of time on the ball to get a delivery in. Jean-Christophe Baerback not able to get it as Christian Fuchs pushes him to the floor. A clear penalty just before half-time as well. Could be the perfect time to score if he can pop this one away for us. Will he do it? Ramirez steps up and he puts it straight down the middle. Sent the keeper to the right-hand side and he just slotted it calmly in the centre. No worries at all for him there as we go 1-0 up from the penalty spot. A lovely, lovely calm penalty there. So let's keep this ball rolling. Can we get into the second half with a 1-0 win? We may even get two if we're able to create something here. Ramirez with the throw-in finds Pereira de Sá, who does look all the way back to Pambu, who's got plenty of time to find Dede, who is really far forward into Badji, back to Pambu, who then looks out wide to Ramirez. He's got, again, loads of time. No one's putting any pressure on him as he plays the ball back to Baerback. Baerback this time gets to the byline, whips it across, and Pella is there, making it 2-0 just before the half-time interval. And things are going as smooth as you like at Hound Dogs. It's going well. It is going very, very well so far. Ramirez being very influential on this one. And again, Baerback as well, getting the dink up and Pella winning the ball in the air for his goal of the game. Half time though, and things are looking easy peasy lemon squeezy. No concerns whatsoever. I think we will leave it as it is for now. No point in changing things if things are working. And no one's really too jaded at the moment. They're working hard, but being able to keep on top. We might take Woudenberg off as he is on a yellow card, but then I might not as well. I might just leave him on there and not be too concerned about anything whatsoever. But it will be Europa point to give us the first highlight of the second half on the hour mark. Cool on the left-hand side, receiving it from Fuchs. Then Heaps coming inside with that ball. Back to Christian Fuchs, who's got a bit of pressure on him. But Heaps does very well to get a ball over the top to their new signing Peke. And he's able to find Vela. And Vela tucks it away for 2-1. Not a great start to the second half in the first 15 minutes to concede, as that will give them a boost now. But, I mean, that must be their first shot on goal or second shot on target. I mean, we should be well ahead at this point. So it's we've only got ourselves to blame if things don't sort themselves out. But Pambu's able to take control of that situation, winning the header and getting the ball down as well as it comes back to him from Ramirez. And he comes forward again with the ball. Pereira de Sá back to Pambu, finding Pella, who looks for the overlap of Salifu in the inside. He finds Romero on the left-hand side this time. He's whipped ball in, finds Salifu. I mean, what a ball in that is. And a great header by one of the smallest players on the pitch. Not exactly got a massive leap, but he was able to get high enough to head that one home. Maximiliano Romero's ball in was just divine. Getting it back on his right foot. It was like one of the biggest 1-2s I think I've ever seen. As he cuts back on his right foot, a whipped ball in. And Salifu gets in between the defenders to head home for 3-1, getting us 2-goal lead back once again, which is good to see, only a few minutes after they scored. So the reaction was great. Pella isn't able to get that one down as Herrera receives it. And then Peke, again, coming forward, been influential so far for them. And Vela was put through on goal. But we were able to get round back in and stop that. But this very much could be a sending off. I was talking about Woudenberg getting a yellow, and it is a sending off. Lucas Woudenberg will be off the pitch, will be down to 10 men. Good job we got that goal. We're going to have to work something out That's for sure. Kasper Jorgensen will be coming on, undoubtedly. So, question is, who will that be for? I think what we might have to do is, in fact, take Satterfield off, swap things around a little bit. But Jorgensen down at left back. Badgie can come forward, but we will change him to a ball-winning midfielder defensive if he steps slightly further forward. Jorgensen at left back will have to be fill in there nicely, and we'll have to see how it goes for the rest of the game. With 20 minutes to go, I'm still not too concerned, even with a player off the pitch and a man down. I think we've got enough about us to hold on to things here, at least for a point. I don't think we'll be conceding more than 2 goals. But Christian Fuchs with a free kick, with 20 minutes to go. If they score here, it could be real issues. He rattles the post with that free kick. A lovely effort, but it did look covered by Gustav. Not long to go now, though, as we get to the end of the game. I think we may look to bring Pacar on for Romero, and then even bring on Marlos for Pella, with Bareback going up top on his own, just to kind of chase the ball down. Marlos with a delivery, though, from a corner, finds Bareback at the back post, but who isn't quite able to get there as it's headed clear. Pacar now receiving it. The player recently moved on to the pits. Badgie into Dede, who's looked for that little dink over to Pacar, whose shot is saved. It wasn't the best of efforts, but he got a second effort at goal. And that one was again cleared a lot better this time, as they now look to break forward. Vela into Peke. We've got obviously that is miles off, surely. There's no way that's onside. I was going to say, he was like 6 yards off. How could you even think you were on there? Look at this. Look, I mean, do you want... it's kind of insane how far offside you were. It's quite a nice finish, but still awful positioning. But there you go. Even a man down, we were able to hold on quite comfortably in the end. 3-1 victory for us today against bottom of the league, Europa Point. And we go 10 points clear at the top. We've got a couple of semi-finals coming up in quick succession as well. So we'll have to try and manage the players for that one. But with that said, we can leave it there. We're in a fantastic position so far, with a couple of cup finals available and hopefully Europe on the horizon next season, with a few players leaving the club, and a couple more coming in as well. We will have to see how things go, but we'll probably catch you either in the finals or at the end of the season. But with that said, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and of course I will catch you in the next one.